Hello student, welcome once again to my YouTube chemistry channel, Amazing Chemistry Classes. So in atomic structure, today we are going to discuss about the particle nature of the electromagnetic radiation and other topics. So let's start with the topic, that is the particle nature of electromagnetic radiation. Diffraction interference could be explained by the wave nature of the radiation, but they could not explain black body radiation, photoelectric effect, variation of heat capacities of solid as a function of temperature, and light spectra of atom. The first concrete explanation for the phenomena of black body radiation was done by Max Planck in 1900. When an iron rod is heated, it first turns into dull red and then becomes more and more red. As this is further heated, the radiation emitted becomes white and then becomes blue as the temperature becomes very high. So the frequency of the radiation emitted goes from a lower frequency to the higher frequency as the temperature increases. So basically the ideal body which emits and absorbs all the frequencies of heat and light is called the black body, and the radiation emitted by such a body is called black body radiation. I hope बच्चों आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा होगा, and you guys can take a snapshot also, and whenever you attend my classes please keep a copy and pen with you so that all the important definitions and concepts you can write down for your future references. Now this is the plot between the temperature between the wavelength and the radiation intensity. You can see here are two radiations that has been given at temperature T2 and T1. So T2 is always greater than T1. With respect to this graph spectra we can conclude. Now at a given temperature, intensity of radiation emitted increases with the decrease of the wavelength. So it reaches a maximum value at a given wavelength and then again start decreasing with further increase of wavelength. So what is actually important to note here that the intensity of the radiation emitted with increase and it decreases of wavelength. So it reaches a maximum value at a given wavelength and then again start decreasing with further decrease of wavelength. So the above experimental result cannot be explained satisfactorily on the basis of wave theory, क्योंकि ये वेव थ्योरी के बेसिस पे पूरे कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर नहीं हो पाए और इसके बेसिक्स जो रीजंस थे वो फाइंड आउट नहीं हो पा रहे थे by the wave theory of light. So there is a requirement of giving some fruitful and some solid justification for this. So next we have discussed the quantized energy and the photons, क्योंकि उसकी ज़रूरत यही हुई कि वेव नेचर और पार्टिकल नेचर से हम लोग नहीं समझ पा रहे थे, बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर नहीं हो रहे थे. सो देन अ न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट दैट हैज़ कम इज photons. So let's study about the photons and the quantized energy. So what is Planck? Planck energy can only be absorbed or released from the atom in certain amount and which is called quanta. Okay, the relation between energy and frequency, ये बहुत ही important relationship है और इसमें न्यूमेरिकल्स भी आते हैं बहुत बार. So बच्चों आप लोग प्लीज़ समझिए इसका E is equal to h nu, where h is known as Planck's constant. The scientist name is Planck and the value of the Planck constant is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. So with this theory, Planck was able to explain the distribution of intensity. So basically बहुत important theory है. Through this, Planck was able to explain the distribution of intensity in the radiation from a black body as a function of frequency or wavelength at different temperature. At different temperature, when a black body it radiates the emissions. So what happened? How the distribution of intensity of the radiation from a black body as a function of frequency wavelength at different temperature was well explained by the Planck, and the theory which has been given on the basis of equation that is E is equal to h nu, where h is a Planck constant, E is energy and nu is frequency. So what is photoelectric effect? In 1887, H. Hertz performed an experiment in which electron or electric current were ejected when certain metals we can consider like metals like potassium, cesium, rubidium, they were exposed to a beam of light, and the phenomena is called as photoelectric effect. So what happened? They have taken few metals like potassium and rubidium, and they performed an experience in which they what happened? Some electric current has been given, because of which what happened? The electrons were ejected when certain metals were exposed to a beam of light. कुछ beams of light, high radiation beams of light in metals पर डाली गई तो क्या हुआ? There is a flow of electron or there is a ejection of electron, and which is known as photoelectric effect. The result observed in these experiments were that the electrons are ejected from the metal surface as soon as the beam of light strikes. The moment light, the high intensity light fall on the surface of the metal, immediately electrons ejected, and the number of electrons ejected, it is directly proportional to the intensity or brightness of the light. So for each metal there is a characteristic minimum frequency, that is threshold energy, that is known as threshold frequency. So certain amount of energy of light is required which is absorbed by a metal to emit the electron beam. So that amount of energy which is required to for the emission is known as threshold frequency, and below which photoelectric effect is not observed. So at a frequency that is nu frequency, we denote it by a symbol nu, so it is greater than nu naught, so the ejected electrons come out with certain kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy of these electrons increases with the increase of frequency of light used. All of the above results, बच्चों एक बार आप लोग इसका snapshot लीजिए, because these are the certain points which I feel is very important, where you need to understand the concept of threshold frequency, where you need to understand what is frequency, how much amount of energy is required, and the kinetic energy of this electron which increases with the increase of frequency of light. ये कुछ concepts हैं जो आप लोगों को समझना है to make your concept about photoelectric effect, about kinetic energy, about how the electron beams ejected from the metal when a beam of light falls on the surface. So all the above results could not be explained on the basis of law of classical physics. So according to the latter, the energy content of the beam of light depends upon the brightness of the light. So in other words, we can say that the number of electrons ejected and the kinetic energy associated with them should depend upon the brightness. So amount of electron ejected or the kinetic energy is directly proportional to the brightness of the light. After that, the scientist Einstein in 1905, he was able to explain the photoelectric effect using the Planck's quantum theory of electromagnetic radiation. Basically what he has defined, that a beam of light can be viewed as a shooting a beam of particles, that is the photons. So during a collision, the photon transfers its energy instantaneously to the electron, and the electron is ejected without any time lag. So greater the energy possessed by the electron, by the photon, greater will be the transfer of energy to the electron and greater the kinetic energy of the ejected electrons. बच्चों इस कॉन्सेप्ट को समझो, जो लाइट हम लोग मेटल सरफेस पर डाल रहे हैं, दैट इज हैविंग सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी, and that energy is basically Planck's, or you can say quantum of energy, which is having certain amount of energy, and when it falls to the surface of the metal, तो आइंस्टीन ने क्या बोला, जब इलेक्ट्रॉन इजेक्ट हो रहे हैं तो जो लाइट एनर्जी है वो कन्वर्ट हो जा रही है, और हम बोल सकते हैं फोटोन एनर्जी को ट्रांसफ़र हो जा रहा है इंस्टेंटेनियसली इनटू इलेक्ट्रॉन में. तो इलेक्ट्रॉन को जो थ्रेशोल्ड मिल रहा है, जिसको हम थ्रेशोल्ड एनर्जी मिल रही है, बेसिकली वो जो लाइट की एनर्जी है जिसने स्ट्राइक किया वॉल्स पे, लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे, ड्यूरिंग अ कोलोजन द फोटोन ट्रांसफर इट्स एनर्जी. फोटोन क्या कर रहा है, एनर्जी ट्रांसफर कर रहा है इमीडिएटली टू द इलेक्ट्रॉन. इलेक्ट्रॉन में ट्रांसफर किया तो इलेक्ट्रॉन गेट इजेक्टेड और इट गेट एक्साइटेड, एंड द इलेक्ट्रॉन इजेक्टेड और एक्साइटेड विदाउट एनी टाइम लैग. सो द मोमेंट द लाइट फॉल्स, आप इस चीज़ को समझो बच्चों, जैसे ही मेटल सरफेस के ऊपर लाइट गिरी, इमीडिएटली इलेक्ट्रॉन्स वहाँ से निकलने शुरू हो गए. सो इलेक्ट्रॉन गेट इजेक्टेड एंड ग्रेटर द एनर्जी पजेस्ड बाय द फोटोन. जितनी ज़्यादा लाइट, जो हमारी लाइट बीम मेटल सरफेस के ऊपर गिर रही है, उसमें जितना ज़्यादा एनर्जी होगा, ग्रेटर विल बी द एनर्जी ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड ग्रेटर द काइनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ द. So basically all these are interdependent, and the amount of energy possessed by the photons is equal to the amount of electrons kinetic energy. This is the statement given by the Einstein in 1905. Now the next point is, if h nu is the energy of photon, जैसे कि मैंने बताया E is equal to h nu previous slide में, where h nu is the energy of the photon and h nu naught is the minimum energy required to eject the electron, then the difference in h nu and h nu naught is transferred as the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy को हम क्या लिख सकते हैं, h nu is equal to h nu naught plus kinetic energy is equal to half mv square होता है, where me is the mass of electron and v is the velocity of ejected electron. So now we have to discuss about the dual behavior of electromagnetic radiation. ऑलरेडी हम लोगों ने वेव एंड पार्टिकल नेचर के बारे में पढ़ चुके हैं इसमें, तो क्या डिस्कस करना है, लेट मी रीड आउट एंड देन आई विल एक्सप्लेन. That the particle nature could explain the black body radiation and photoelectric effect satisfactorily, but on the other hand it was not consistent with the known wave behavior of the light. which could account for the phenomena of interference and diffraction. Basically black body जितनी भी हैं वो क्या करते हैं, first they absorb the energy and then they radiate, so which actually explains the photoelectric effect also, not to a satisfactory extent, but on the other hand it was consistent with the known wave behavior. But ये एक चीज़ को तो बहुत clear करता है, that is the wave behavior of a light, and which can actually define the terms that is interference and diffraction. तो अभी हमें interference और diffraction को समझने के लिए आगे के points discuss करने हैं. That is the only way to resolve the dilemma was to accept the idea that light possesses both particle and wave-like properties. So basically light is having both the properties, that is it act as a wave and it act as a particle also. So it is having, the light is having the dual behavior. Now talking about the atomic spectra. Ordinarily, white light consists of waves with all the wavelength in the visible region. A ray of white light is spread out into series of colored bands called spectrum. Basically हम लोग जानते हैं जो white light है that is made up of 7 colors, and there is a diffraction of a white light into different bands which is known as spectrum, and such a spectrum is known as continuous spectrum. Alright, so the spectrum of radiation emitted by a substance that has absorbed energy is called emission spectrum. After absorbing a certain beam of energy, a certain beam of photons, so it is having certain energy that has been absorbed by a body. After a period of time it actually radiates some amount of energy, so the that radiation or the emission of spectra is known as emission spectrum. Absorption spectrum is the missing wavelength which corresponds to the radiation absorbed by the matter leave dark spaces in the bright continuous spectrum. Here you guys can see there is a light source through slit, it passed through that slit and it goes to the prism, and from prism there will be a screen on which this light will fall, and we can see the atomic spectra of a light. Basically इस experiment में कुछ भी नहीं किया, there is a light source through which a beam of light gets generated and it's passed through a slit, so that there will be a narrow beam light, and when it falls to the prism, so a wire going through the prism, there will be a screen on which we can see the atomic spectra. Now talking about the emission spectrum, here you can see a spectra of sodium band and the hydrogen band. The spectrum of radiation emitted by a substance that has absorbed energy is called emission spectrum. So this is a definition बच्चों आप लोग समझिए, जो भी spectrum radiation की during emission by a metal substance और उसने कुछ it has actually absorbed some energy, so that emission spectra is known as, through metals like sodium and hydrogen we have shown the emission spectra. This is the line spectra of hydrogen atom where principal quantum number has been represented. Now line spectra of hydrogen atom, in this we are going to study about Lyman series, Bauman series, Paschen, Brackett and Pfund series. Here you guys can see N1, N2 and a region. So Lyman series is UV, Balmer series is visible, and Paschen, Brackett and Pfund is having the infrared series, and N1 is N2 region is like for Paschen it is 3, N2 is 4 to 5, for Brackett it is 4 and N2 is 5 to 6, and for Pfund N1 is 5 and the N2 is 6 to 7. Region is infrared. Now talking about Rutherford model, it is in trouble and accelerated charge should fall into the nucleus. So Bohr basically revised the Rutherford model to explain the existence of line spectra for the elements. In 1913, Neil Bohr actually he studied under Rutherford at the Victoria University of Manchester, and he refined Rutherford's idea by adding that the electrons were in the orbits. Rutherford ने भी यही बोला था, but उनके according क्या था, that the electrons are moving at a very high speed in orbits, and because of which it radiates some energy and automatically it falls down. So Rutherford was not able to actually clear the concept that nucleus overall is a neutral, and when electrons are rotating in orbit, it has to radiate some energy, it get accelerated, and after emission of energy electron will fall down, but it was never happened. So Rutherford model has a drawbacks, which was further studied by Niels Bohr, and he adding up to it that he refined the Rutherford's idea by adding that the electrons were in the orbit. He also agreed to that electrons are present in the orbit around the nucleus, and rather like planet orbiting the sun in a similar way with each other, orbit only able to contain a certain number of electrons. So here you can see Bohr's atom, and there are certain electrons which rotate. So through this slide we can see that the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So here I have given an example of helium atom where you can see there are two protons at the center and the electrons, two electrons around the orbit. And these two electrons actually rotate around the orbit, and the center nucleus is having the positive charge. So here you guys बच्चों ये सब आप देख सकते हो that the shell is there and the two protons are there at the center, because of which there is a positive charge, and the neutrons are also there, and electrons are revolving around the orbit. So Bohr suggested that electrons can only exist in a certain orbits, and there is a line spectrum result from the release of the photons as the electron fall back to the lower orbit. So what are the postulates of the Bohr's model for hydrogen atom? First point is that the electron in the hydrogen atom can move around the nucleus in a circular path of a fixed radius and energy. तो बेसिकली डिफरेंस क्या था, बोहर्स ने क्या अपने पोस्टुलेट में बोला दैट द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इन द हाइड्रोजन एटम कैन मूव अराउंड द न्यूक्लियस, न्यूक्लियस के अराउंड इलेक्ट्रॉन मूव करते हैं एक सर्कुलर पाथ में विच इज हैविंग सर्टेन रेडियस, सर्टेन फिक्स्ड रेडियस के बारे में बोला एंड सर्टेन फिक्स्ड एनर्जी के बारे में बोला. सो दीज पाथ्स आर कॉल्ड ऑर्बिट्स. एंड स्टेशनरी स्टेट, जो ऑर्बिट है वो श्रिंक नहीं करता है, देयर इज नो लॉस ऑफ एनर्जी. So orbit will remain stationary state and they are having certain fixed amount of energy or allowed energy state. So these orbits are arranged concentrically around the nucleus. The energy of an electron in the orbits does not change with time. However, the electron will move from a lower stationary state to a higher stationary state when required amount of energy is absorbed, and the energy is emitted when electron move from higher stationary to the lower stationary. The energy change does not take place in a continuous manner. इसमें बहुत सारे ऑर्बिट्स बेसिकली बच्चों जो ऑर्बिट्स है वो स्टेशनरी है अकॉर्डिंग टू बोहर्स. दे आर हैविंग सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी एंड दीज ऑर्बिट्स आर स्टेशनरी. दे कैन नॉट श्रिंक. इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्रॉम द lower energy orbit to the higher energy orbit, they can move by absorbing of energy. When electrons absorb the energy, they can go from lower energy state to the higher energy state, and similarly from higher energy state electrons can come back to the lower energy state, but for that they have to lose the energy or they emit the radiations. So this is what he has been explained, and the energy change does not takes place in a continuous manner. So this is the postulate given by the Bohrs. Last point is that the frequency of radiation absorbed or emitted, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन एनर्जी absorb करते हैं या emit करते हैं तो उसकी frequency when transition occur between the two stationary state, the difference in energy delta E is equal to, जो मैंने आपको बताया था, E is equal to h nu because there is a change in energy, so nu is equal to delta E upon h, or we can say delta E is E1 minus E2, initial energy minus the final energy, upon h is a Planck constant, and it is commonly known as Bohr's frequency rule. The angular momentum of an electron in a given stationary state can be expressed as an equation mvr is equal to n into h upon 2, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 number of orbits. So features of Bohr's model of an atom. First is your principal quantum number. The stationary state of electron are numbered as 1, 2, 3. So these integral numbers are known as principal quantum number, and the radii of the stationary states are expressed as r is equal to n square a, where a is equal to 52.9 picometer. The energy of a stationary state is given by the expression E is equal to RH into 1 by n square, where RH is Rydberg constant and the value for the Rydberg constant is 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 joule, and n is known as principal quantum number. Now in next video I am going to explain about the line spectrum of hydrogen. So for now, thank you so much बच्चों. I hope you will learn a lot from this video and it will actually enhance your knowledge. Do practice as much as you can. These are the theory concept which is you have to learn from your heart. बच्चों आप लोगों को practice करनी है इसमें. Basically इन चैप्टर्स के अंदर थ्योरी पार्ट बहुत ज़्यादा है, कॉन्सेप्ट्स कुछ ज़्यादा. आप लोग जितना अच्छे से पढ़ोगे इसको, 2-3 बार आप वीडियो को देखिए. I hope it will be able, you guys will be able to understand the different postulates given by the different scientists and what are the different drawbacks, how electrons and proton, neutron have been identified. What are the different postulates given by the different scientists, and the structure of atom have been defined. So thank you so much. Keep watching my video and do like, share and subscribe my channel.